Hey there, it's Flatbread Friday, and I had some shrimp in my freezer, pulled them out, and my basil in my garden, when it got so hot and so dry, it died. But then we got all that rain, and now we've got some cooler weather, and now it's back. And I made some pesto out of it, and I kept the rest of it fresh. And I also bought myself a grilled flatbread crust from the fresh market. And today we're gonna make a shrimp and pesto flatbread. And it's gonna be real good, and let's get it done. Our shrimp is peeled, but it is not deveined and it still has its tails on. So we gotta clean it up a bit before we get it ready. We're gonna remove the tails. And then slice the shrimp down the center where the vein is at. And pull it out. Let's get the rest of it. There it comes out. Now I'm going to continue on with the rest of our shrimp and detail and devein them. Our shrimp are all deveined, tails removed. I'm going to throw this stuff away. I used this paper towel to pull out the veins, and there they are, all out. Our shrimp are in a bowl. We're going to make a sort of fun marinade for it, and let's do it. I'm going to add a little bit of red onion to the shrimp. You can use a different vegetable if you want to. Mushrooms or broccoli or peppers or zucchini or summer squash. But I'm going to do some sliced red onion. So I'm going to slice that up. Just a little bit. I think that'll do it. I'm going to make these onion slices smaller. I think we're doing in quarters. Our onion pieces are all ready. Now we're going to add them to our shrimp. Season them up with a little salt and pepper. The next thing we're going to do is make a chiffonade of fresh basil. Stack the leaves from largest to smallest. Maybe we'll do them in groups. We will. So here's our first stack of basil leaves. Then you roll them up like a cigar. And draw the knife through. And what that gives you is a bunch of curly basil strings. We may need a little more, but let's see how much this is. We're going to add in our basil strips, our chiffonade. Toss everything up. Looking pretty good, but I'm going to add a little bit more. Our additional basil's going in. flipping around and toss it up again. Gotta get it off my glove. I have some fresh garlic that I finally chopped in my magic bullet, and we are going to add some olive oil to it. We're gonna shake it up in here because it's in the bullet. That should be a good amount. And I want a little squeeze of some lemon juice. I think that'll be good. We're gonna shake it up. Top is on. Shake it up. And this is gonna be our shrimp marinade. It's going in. And we're gonna let this sit for a little while. Heat up our oven and get our crust prepped up. Mix it up well. Our marinated shrimp and basil and onions is going in the fridge. We're going to marinate it for a little while. I've put our grilled flatbread pizza crust on my round pizza pan. And when the oven reaches 425 degrees, which is preheating too, we're going to cook this for about 5 minutes because shrimp doesn't take that long to cook, so I want to make sure that this crust is nice and crispy. Our par-baked grilled flatbread is out of the oven, and now we're going to top it off and finish our shrimp flatbread. Here's our homemade pesto. You could also make this pizza with store-bought pesto, but a thin layer, probably a couple of tablespoons full, because it's made with grease. So we don't want to make a big mess. So we're going to spread it out all the way out to the edges. Our thin layer of pesto is on. Next thing is a layer of shredded mozzarella cheese. Now it's time for our shrimp, basil, and onions. Distribute them all around, nice and evenly. Our shrimp is on. Now I'm going to work on scraping up some of this garlic and onions, topping them off, and basil. Looking good. Next thing that's going on is some of my favorite 4-cheese shaved Italian blend. That'll give it some sharpness, help protect the shrimp a little bit. Put it on top. I think that will be plenty. Now we're just about ready to go in. Our shrimp and pesto flatbread is out of the oven. And as you can see, the shrimp are pink and curled up, so they are cooked. The cheese is not as melty as I would like it to be, but the crust is nice and crispy around the edges, and so is the cheese around the edges. So now we're going to cut it up and serve it up. I cut it into some smaller pieces and some bigger pieces, depending on how much you want when you eat it. Here's our shrimp and pesto pizza on a plate. And now we're going to take a bite. See how it tastes. It smells so good. I hope it tastes as good. I hope it tastes as good as it smells. Thank you for joining me for this week's edition of Flatbread Friday. And here is I picked one of the small pieces to take a bite of. And shrimpy and pesto-y and garlicky. And in we go. That came out so yummy. It was a fun experiment. And I'm glad I did it. I'm going to enjoy having this for dinner. And we'll see you again soon. Have a good one.